Hello everybody, and Jess here, and welcome back to Zom 100 episode 6. 6, yes, episode 6. Um, I don't know why I haven't been recording it for a long time, so I don't have any excuse. I just haven't been, but now I am, and we are back. I guess I wasn't recording it for a good while because I added a couple of shows to my repertoire. Right, I need to finish Mahotsukai no Yome season 2 first part, because this season, the autumn fall, whatever you want to call it, season, the second part of the second season is coming out, so I need to be caught up on that. I also started watching Magia Records, so I guess Zone 100 kind of fell out of the rotation. But yeah, I'm making it up. Mostly by recording multiple episodes a day. Sometimes this is a second episode of anime I record today. The previous one was Nanatsu no Makengashi Haisuru, and I had a lot of fun with it. So how about we continue having fun with Zone 100? It's another super fun show. So yeah, why not? Why not do exactly that? Right. What happened in the previous episode? Maybe let's start with that. Akira was able to fulfill his dream of being a superhero. That's basically a summary of it. He decided that he wants to be a superhero, and together with Kenichi, he set off towards the aquarium to get a bite resistant suit, which is incredibly smart. Honestly, I didn't expect a smart move like that to happen, but it did. And he painted it, got a mask and all, and actually became a superhero. Actually saved some people. Actually fought a six-legged shark together with Shizuka. And it was great. It was glorious. It was a lot of fun. Amazing animation and whatnot. Well, the downside of having an amazing animation like that is that pretty much every episode of Zom 100 since has been delayed by a day or two. So they kind of, they went above their means, so to speak. The studio, that is, they probably should have toned it down if they wanted no production issues. But since they didn't, there are production issues. It would probably be better if they just, took a week of a break and maybe released a, recap episode or something like that, instead of delaying every episode by a day, but whatever. I'm behind anyway, so not like it affects me. And I already see the first kind of animation error or art error in the first frame. In here, there's some paint over a black void of a hole in the glass. Okay, regardless. Akira also got a number got contact details of Shizuka, so now they can meet up, potentially, hopefully, probably. We know from the opening, after all, that they will make one nice team together, and they will travel around Japan with an RV that we will get today in this episode, because today's episode title is RV of the Dead. I wonder when the samurai girl is going to join us. Perhaps she's going to come pre-packaged with the RV. We'll see about that. Besides that, I don't particularly have any expectations for this episode. It's very episodic, this show. There isn't really any coherent, cohesive continuation, any overarching plot or anything of the sort. So whatever happens. Today's episode might as well happen at a McDonald's or other legally distinct McDonald's competitor. I have no expectations because I simply cannot have any. Right. So, how about we just start watching it, right? Shall we? To do that, you will of course need your subs to follow along with me. I'm going to need my sound to hear what's going on in the show, and I'm gonna have to ask you guys for your support. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, linked down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word, cost nothing, helps a lot. And with all of that out of the way, we can start watching episode 6 of Zom 100 in 3, 2, 1, go. You can just take it. The society has collapsed, and he did. Okay. Okay. 9 million, that's a lot. Almost 10 mil. Someone's recording them. Oh no, they are taking photos. Okay, another goal checked off the list. Fruity mint tea, by the way. Okay, so you can no longer realistically, yeah, camp in here. Abandon the city, go to the countryside. I mean, yeah, it's not the communist utopia you thought it's going to be. Work is still required. Oh, yeah, no light pollution. Yeah. Man, I would love to travel to some place where there isn't any light pollution. It fucking sucks living in a big city that it's a huge event when you can see like a single fucking star in the sky. Okay, so we are finally setting our sights on Gunma. This Topia song of the dead. 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 I love this opening. So many legit good openings and ending. Less so. So many legit good openings this season. Yep, a recap of the previous episode. Electric Punch. They really are going balls to the walls with this animation. Dystopia, song of the dead. 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 Okay. Packing up. A console and a gun and a water gun. I mean, this is fucking light. Absolutely. That's fairly close. An RV. Yep, you're gonna need it. I mean, yeah, legit. You can't really camp out in the wilderness with zombies around. So an RV is the perfect solution. Worst case scenario, you just shut the doors and stay inside. Oh, hello. Hello, Shizuka. Great minds think alike. Yeah, you can say that again. Unmei desu. Unmei da. Right. She's still the Tsun part of tsundere. Do you need one? Exactly. Now, can you drive an RV though? Because sure, you don't need a license legally speaking, but having a license implies that you can drive, more or less at least. Exactly, right? You can crash, you can fall off a cliff or something. It absolutely will be safer. And she's going to break. Damn. Anything you want, baby. And of course, she's going to pick the one that's the most utilitarian. Yeah, hybrid is a good shot. Preferably one with, like, I know, solar panels on the roof. Luxurious. And we have our pick. Can we get this one, mommy? That's an important factor. True. And she likes this one. Okay. Technoratan uh, chairs. She's officially part of the team now. One of us. One of us. And the Dorodoro track is coming on. So the choice is going to be random in the end. Okay, all this time spent seeing all different sorts of RVs only for the choice to be random. That's great. It's completely empty, actually. No, like, abandoned cars or anything. Yeah, probably not a parasite. Mm, you can secure the uninfected, sure. There aren't really any, antiviral drugs, really. True. Oh, and of course he didn't notice. First obstacle. Now you need to find some new tires. And you should have really worn a helmet. Oh, a trap? A trap? Interesting. First time humans versus humans happens. Boss? Okay. I did not expect that. I did not expect that. But I guess Akira now has a chance to cave his head in and face no consequences. Trauma. Yeah. PTSD. And what would the price be? Exactly. There is a price. Doing what? Yeah, exactly. Essentially slavery. He's not wrong, of course. I doubt it's actually going to be 2 days, though. I legit doubt that. Going back to an abusive relationship. Hmm. Simple but exhausting. And I doubt there are any workers' rights working here. Yeah, it's not going to end at 2 days. It's absolutely not going to end there. 2 days is a code word for eternity. Never. Because that's exactly what it is. I mean, true, I guess. No, you're going to be beaten by your boss. Exactly. It's not your beer to use, it's your boss's. Exactly. Again, PTSD. Ah, he wanted to keep it for himself. But now he can't. Because it's been discovered. Yeah? You sleazy fuck, I hope you get stabbed in your sleep. Your RV being stripped for parts? Oh, using zombies as. That's actually smart. I actually can't fault him for that. You are also equipment. Exactly. Okay, Akira is going to break. I wonder in which direction, though. Man, I thought I'm gonna have fun with this episode, but I'm suffering. PTSD. Yeah, you don't forget abuse like that. And he's, again, just like the zombies, except it's portrayed differently than initially. Hmm. There's a lot of parallels in this show about Akira being a zombie, right? Early on, he was more zombified than zombies. In that he was always, moving slow, having no will to live, and so on and so forth. And now the imagery is that the zombies are breathing heavily and pulling the RV behind them, and Akira similarly is breathing heavily and heavily stomping forward as if he's pulling something. Hmm. I really thought this show is going to be uh, mostly fun with bits and pieces of drama of the what a zombie apocalypse usually is, kind of seeping into our fun image of the zombie apocalypse. But it seems there is much more to it, after all. And the next episode is Truck Stop of the Dead. Okay, so we are staying at the truck stop for the time being, at least. Hmm. Okay, let's watch it again because I think I have things to say. Solid gold watch, an even more expensive one, and they're just using it to pose with them. That's interesting. They're not stealing this stuff. They just pose with those watches and place them back where they were, and just cross off an item of the list. That's a very fair thing to do. Very like lawful good, pretty much. Yeah, we're out of water, power is out, pumps no longer work because probably the last remaining workers were either starved to death or turned into zombies or whatever else, and the equipment, unsupervised, eventually fails, and it failed. Base stations down as well. Time to move out, yeah. Maybe do some farming, maybe do some hunting, maybe do both. I mean, right? Even after quitting my abusive workplace, I guess I still have to work. Yeah. Little did you know what's gonna happen halfway through the episode, right? I wonder if there's any job out there that I'd want to do now. That's masterful foreshadowing. It really is. This is beautiful. I fucking hate light pollution. Um, where I live, next to my city, there is like a huge ass massive plant of tomatoes, I believe. Yeah, I think it's tomatoes. They grow tomatoes there, and that farm is lit up even during the night. The tomatoes there grow like 24/7, and you can sometimes see like a light aura around where it is. Actually, actually, is it still a thing? I wonder, because I haven't seen that aura for quite some time. Maybe it was actually regulated away. Uh, what's it called? That farm though. Uh, mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like a huge glass house, and it's in. Let's see. Siechnice. Has it been shut down? I wonder. Mm-hmm. At least not in 2019. And yeah, people joke that you can see it way from space. And it's like, okay, it was still a thing in 2020, and in 2021, and in 2022, although they are changing their light bulbs, apparently. But here, let me show you how it looks, because it's fucking mad. It's absolutely fucking mad. There we go. There we go. There's like at night, you just see this if you live nearby, right? From where I live, you just see a fucking bat signal. It's it's absolutely mad. I fucking hate it. Right, people are memeing about it. As I said, fucking bat signal. It's like why, how can you do? How can, I'm getting angry. I'm getting angry at light pollution. Fucking hate light pollution. I love seeing stars in the sky. I would love to see a galaxy or two, but no. No, we need to have our tomatoes grow 24 fucking 7. Now, granted, it's not the sole reason for light pollution around here. It's a big city after all. Neon lights, street lamps, etc., etc., etc. All of that contributes to it, but it's because of shit like this that I can see shit like this. And it hurts me. It really hurts my soul that was born and raised in a countryside where, again, granted, you didn't have quite a sight like this, but I could see some constellations in the night sky. Nowadays, I might see like a North Star and a couple of the bigger ones, but that's about it. We're going to Gunma. Packing everything that's necessary. Yeah, canned food, toothbrushes, nail clippers, camp stove, cook sets, etc., etc. And meanwhile, Akira is just getting his gaming console and fucking Super Soaker. Saying goodbye to the college life, saying goodbye to the office life. Little does he know. 3 or 4 hour drive, but in the meantime, we are getting an RV. A zombie-free space where you don't need to worry. It's actually a very good idea. Honestly, you could camp in the wilderness, absolutely, sure, but zombies can tear into your tent, no problem. Meanwhile, this is solid steel or aluminium or something that isn't as easy for zombies to break into. The only way to travel in a zombie apocalypse, absolutely. Honestly, it is. Well, it's a good thing that a camping car show was underway, and it is destiny that they meet at every chance they get. I love. I didn't really pay much attention to that before, but I love how colorful those characters are, right? The show in general is very colorful zombie blood for once. But all of those characters are incredibly bright, neon, colorful, and whatnot. But I like it also because when you're concerned with running away from the zombies, you're not really concerned about fashion. Right? For example, Shizuka. I don't think fashion was her concern when she was picking this jacket or those shoes. She just chose the most comfortable shoes there were and the warmest but also the most breathable jacket. And whatever colors there were was a secondary concern, if at all. This is definitely Fate, indeed, but of course he gets blocked. I like how Shizuka changes as the time goes on, and also, holy shit, I just noticed it's a fucking 6 head she has. It's no longer a 4 head, no longer a 5 head. It's a fucking 6 head. I like that she changes. She's no longer that super ultra utilitarian character who was always cold and calculated. She talks a little bit, has a little bit of fun. I like it. She's not a fan of zombie movies, she just watched them for reference purposes, of course. Uh-huh. But yeah, you don't have a license. Isn't it poor risk analysis to do something unfamiliar like driving, huh? You talk big about risk analysis and now you want to risk your life, possibly, crashing into a street lamp? It's very unlike you. She has a whole new assortment of faces and a whole new assortment of expressions. That's great. That shows her growth as a character the most, or at least her change as a character the most. And of course, fun has nothing to do with the issue at hand. And yet it does. All sorts of different RVs. This one has a crane. What do we pull with it? Tatami mats, jacuzzi. And she is ever the utilitarian. Yeah, mobility and speed, 4-wheel drive, etc., etc., etc. Hybrid crossover, preferably, should be durable. And this would be the best option. Probably, but probably not the most comfortable. But here's a very expensive RV, very luxurious, with a chandelier and whatnot. And this is a very, Mom, can I have this toy? Kind of a situation. And mom wants to buy some bread. And the kid wants some Pop-Tarts. Mommy, buy me. And also, it doesn't look like an RV, so can you really say that you drove an RV if it doesn't look like an RV? Yeah, life's boring if you only do what you need to do all the time. And of course, there is something she would like. An old Volkswagen, at least looks like a Volkswagen, with a uh, with a very elegant interior, coordinated dark color scheme with techno-rattan chairs, water hyacinth sofa, and ikat tapestries, whatever that means. Luxury hotel in Bali. And of course, there's something she wants. She's slowly melting her cold, icy heart. And in the end, it all came down to chance. Whatever was the first thing they got into was what they got. Right in an RV. Probably a virus. Yeah. Let's stay at a truck stop. And nobody notices those. Ice on the road. Shizuka does, but it's too late once she does notice it. And I know that Kenchi really, like, Kenichi wants to look cool riding on a motorcycle without a helmet, with his shirt unbuttoned and whatnot, but you really want to wear some protective gear when you're driving a motorcycle. You really wanna. You don't have a shell like a car to protect you from crashes and whatnot. You can very easily become a fucking meat crayon, and you don't want to become a meat crayon. I thought it might. Initially, I thought it might have been some leftover from the police. Maybe police usually uses those spike traps to stop criminals and whatnot, and maybe they laid it down for whatever reason. And now we enter sub-adventure, so to speak. Right? Getting to Gunma cannot be that easy. We need some difficulties on our way. So, of course, now Kenichi is hurt, so they need to hunker down somewhere until he's better. They need to find tires, they need to swap them out, and it's a little bit of a bump on our road to make things interesting. I was really thinking it's going in that direction. But no, it's a trap. It's a trap set up by nobody else but Gonzo Kosugi, the former boss of Akira. And yeah, pretty much exactly halfway into the episode, it suddenly stops being fun. It suddenly stops being fun and starts being really fucking dramatic and really fucking tragic. This is just PTSD symptoms. Like, legit. And this is entirely and fully an abusive relationship. Like, holy shit, it's a textbook example of an abusive relationship, right? Oh, so you can't afford rent now that I moved out, but hey, I'm willing to move in with you again and I can pay my part of rent, right? Right? Oh no, what happened to your RV? Well, if you agree to go back to me, I can help you with that. I promise it's going to be better. I promise I've changed. It's only going to be 2 days. Right? It's exactly that, and I fucking hate it. But I hate it because it's portrayed so well that it stirs something within me, right? I never was in an abusive relationship. I never worked for a black company, but there are some traumas from my childhood, and there is some, like, I don't want to call it PTSD. I never was diagnosed with it, but I have some, you know, things like that, things that set me in a fight or flight mode. In case of Akira, it's a freeze mode, combination of freeze and fawn. But yeah, it's, it touches something deep within me, seeing this event, seeing all of this unfold. And even in me, there's that bit of false hope that, hey, maybe he's actually changed, right? Like, I wasn't working at this company. I'm not Akira. And yet I'm going through this. I'm going through the thoughts of, hey, maybe he's actually changed. Maybe after, society collapsed, maybe he no longer is under this sort of stress of running a company. Maybe he actually is glad to see a familiar face, right? Maybe he's a changed man. Maybe he actually genuinely wants to help. And it's scary. It's scary. Because I was able to notice it and reflect upon it, but it still had an effect on me in a completely made up fantasy story. And it scares me. What would happen if I actually got myself involved in an abusive relationship? Would I be able to recognize it then? And would I be able to reflect upon it then? Or would I also believe that, hey, maybe they're a changed person, but with no hints like this, with, certain camera work and shaded face and whatnot? Would I be able to? It's scary. I'm very uncomfortable watching this part of this episode. All my hope is in Shizuka and Kenichi. They recognize what's going on. They know what's going on, especially Shizuka. So if Akira cannot save himself, I can hope that Shizuka and Kenichi will be able to save him. Laws of the land no longer exist, of course. Yep. You only have to help us with a few chores for just 2 days. It's not 2 days. The goalposts will be moved. Either the goalposts will be moved, or within those 2 days you will be so broken that you will not remember that it was supposed to be just 2 days. And of course, Akira doesn't have a choice. That's the worst part. He can't just say no and go his merry way. They have no transportation. Kenichi is in a bad shape. He has no choice. Working the loading dock, reinforcing the barricade. It's not an easy job, though. You're not an employee who has any sorts of rights. You're a slave. It's my fault? Not really. I mean, it is your fault for reckless riding without any protective gear. 100%, absolutely it is. But it's not your fault for what happened, because even if you were wearing a helmet and a whatchamacallit, motorcycle armor, your tires would still be pierced and you would still be left without a mode of transportation, with the nearest track stop still being taken over by Kosugi. it wouldn't have changed much. Like, okay, sure, maybe you would be put in less dire of straits. Maybe you'd be able to, drop your RV and run away somewhere, hide somewhere in a city in some abandoned building, and then go and find another mode of transportation. Sure, it's plausible. But what's more plausible is that Kosugi would just send his goons to beat you senseless and steal all your shit and leave you to die. So again, doesn't change much. We just have to tolerate this for 2 days. Yeah, I sure hope that's the case. It's unlikely though. Kosugi is running a prison complex. It's the chain link fence. This is, and the patrols and the observation tower and whatnot. This is as much to leave to protect this truck stop from zombies entering as it is to stop people from escaping. 100%. Also, that's how you know we are entering serious mode. Blood on zombies is no longer Technicolor. It's red. We are entering actual zombie apocalypse story. Sorry. An actual zombie apocalypse movie where it's humans versus humans and zombies are not the only threat. This is just like being back at my old job. I'm glad you're able to recognize it, but of course, he's denying it because that's how it works. I'm not who I was before, maybe, and yeah, sure. You're like, hey, beer, happy, fun beer time, because that's how you were changed. But then something brings you back to how you were. You are changed, absolutely, but only to a point. And there are things that bring you back to the past. When the chief's in front of me, I can't think straight, yeah. Because genuinely, being in any sort of an abusive situation, be it an abusive relationship or having abusive parents or an abusive job or whatever, it alters brain chemistry. It alters the brain, like synaptic connections and whatnot. Sometimes, very often, actually, for life. It's really not easy to unlearn the things that were beaten into our brains. It really isn't. And of course, giving them chilled beer is just a waste of our precious electricity. He probably wants all that beer for himself. But now he can't back down. He needs the support of his goons. So, of course, when they ask, is it for us? He has no choice but to say yes. Yes, indeed, it is for you. It is for everybody. Because he needs to keep up his caring persona. He can't let his real face slip out. As soon as he does, as soon as it is revealed that he only cares about himself, he loses support of his goons. And he gets his skull caved in by a baseball bat or three. Now, using zombies as a workforce, that's actually smart. Now, you could probably have them use a little bit more of their strength if you were to use harnesses instead of collars, but I guess that also works. Their company equipment. Like you. be under no illusion that you are any more precious than a mindless zombie. You aren't. And another very common abusive relationship tactic, belittling someone, making them lose faith in themselves. You thought you were capable of achieving something special? No, you weren't. You're worthless, you're weak, the best you can do is to follow my orders. I am your only salvation. I am the only thing that can bring out your worth in you. Without me, you are nothing. So incredibly common. So incredibly hard to see. From outside perspective, it is very easy to see. You really can just think, oh, that's bullshit. Why is Akira falling for it? You haven't lived it. That's how I'm gonna say it. You haven't lived it. Neither did I, granted, but I know more or less how it works. Pieces of equipment, like you, just labor away and drink warm, cheap beer. On occasion, you get an actual ice cold beer. There's no greater happiness for you, is there? Yeah. Be a good little cog. It's not going to stop at 2 days. Why is he just taking it like that? You might be tempted to ask. But if you know what it is, you will know that you never forget. Even if you consciously knows what's going on, you can't stop yourself. Your heart knows the fear. And again, the symbolism of Akira being just as much of a zombie as the other zombies. All he's missing is a collar. All he's missing is a collar. And what Shizuka says here, that you might consciously know what's wrong, that something is wrong, and you might consciously know how to change it, and you still cannot. I can really empathize with it. I know it firsthand. I have certain issues that I'm in therapy for and whatnot, but that's the biggest problem. I know what is an issue. I know what I should be doing instead. I know how I should be changing. I know that it is a problem, but I'm unable to do anything about it. That's the worst part. And that's how it works. That's just how it works. And it sucks, but that's the way it is, and we should try to overcome it. Or we should hope to have supportive friends or family who can help us overcome it, who can save us from ourselves, really. So hopefully Shizuka and Kenichi will be the people who save Akira. As much as we would like Akira to save himself, to cave his boss's head in, to slit his throat in his sleep, probably not what's going to happen. It will probably take Shizuka and Kenichi taking action and saving Akira. Possibly against his will. Possibly against his will. Damn. Okay. That was episode 6 of Zone 100. The midpoint of the season. And man, it was heavy. I was expecting to have fun with it, but I'm gonna have to distress myself. Play some games, watch some videos on YouTube, some meme compilations, eat some chocolate, and and bring my dopamine levels a little bit higher than they are right now. It wasn't what I expected this episode to be, but not in a negative way. Hmm. I I don't like the second half of this episode, but it's because it was done so well. And I don't like it because I feel uncomfortable with it, because it stirs something within me, not because it was done badly, not because it was a bad portrayal of those issues. No, I'm uncomfortable with it. I don't like it precisely because it was such an apt portrayal. Precisely because it's so real. Hmm. I did not expect to see something like that in Zom 100 in my funny zombie show. I really didn't. Like, sure, again, some dramatic moments, like the episode with stewardesses, with plane attendants and whatnot. Sure, that brought us a little bit of drama to it. Absolutely. But I absolutely did not expect to go this dramatic, to go this deep, to go this real. It really took me by surprise. I really thought that, oh, okay, sure, it can't be that easy getting to Gunma. So of course they will need to find some new tires and help Kenichi, and of course it's not going to be an easy 2-3 hour trip because we can't have that. I did not expect it to go this dark. I wonder how it will end. Will it end in a very fun and empowering way of Akira breaking, breaking in a way that makes him break out of his fear, of his inhibitions, and make him punch his boss in the face, or do something like that and stand up for himself? Or is it going to end in a realistic way where it's going to have to be Shizuka and Kenichi who will have to figure out an escape plan, and they will have to grab Akira with them and get him away and escape with him, with Akira perhaps still trying to stop them, trying to say, hey, no, I need to help my boss. Don't run away. Let's not do that. I need to stay for longer. I promised. One thing for sure, I really, really, really hope, against all hope, because it's such a common thing in anime that they do, and it pisses me off to no end, that they will. I hope they will not go the be the bigger man way of the track stop being overrun by zombies, and Akira's boss staying somewhere down there being slowly overrun by zombies, and Akira having the choice to help him or leave him to die, and Akira of course helping him because, oh, I will not be just like you, and pulls him out of the zombie pile. I really hope nothing like that happens. Ah, I really, really hope nothing like that happens. That's possibly my biggest gripe with anime and manga and Japanese media in general. Their absolute loathing of any sort of a revenge. You always have to be the bigger man. You never can be just like the bad guy, right? I fucking hate it. fucking hate it. And I hope it doesn't go in that direction. I think that's it. I don't think I have anything more to say. I need to get myself something to eat. I need to get myself some... I have chocolate ice cream with chocolate chips in my freezer. I need to get myself a nice big portion of that. That's gonna cheer me up. But yeah, right now that's gonna be it from me for today. But maybe you guys have something more to add. Your experiences with similar situations. Maybe, like, if you don't want to share, absolutely don't feel forced to, but sometimes it helps. So say in the comments down below, what did you think of this episode, of my reaction, my theories, stuff like that. Anything else you want to share? No spoilers from the source material. If you do want to talk spoilers, Discord is here, also linked in the description. It's open to everybody. Absolutely join, feel free. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't, but tell me why so I can improve. Subscribe to the channel to be notified of future releases of not only Zone 100, but also Atelier Ryza, Helk, Undead Girl Murder Force, Nanatsu no Makengashi Haisuru, Ancient Magus Bride, and Magia Record. And I also stream sometimes, so you might want to click the bell icon to be notified of when I go live. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, linked down below, where for $10 a month you get early access to non-seasonal shows like Magia Record, and for just $1 you get a role on the Discord and a place in the credits. And if you don't want to spend any money, you don't have to. Share my content, spread the word, it costs you absolutely nothing and helps the channel a lot. And right now, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff. And I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's the list of my wonderful Patreons: QB Without a Net, The Corporal Survivor, Young Gaiju, Ditter's Kirum, M0, Narako, Monster Marsh, Fassel, Dr. Wojtigala, and Hans Peter. And you can join them without the need to become a corporate slave.